Okay. Waiting for a few people to join.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lucinda Momosapon, but for the sake of this YouTube, I always use the name Nurse Mo. I welcome you all once again to my live session today, which is really, really important to myself and most of you all. So today we have the privilege of hosting wonderful Irish nurses, Nurse Goodness and Nurse Gideon. I know we all know Nurse Gideon because this is not the first time I'm actually hosting him. And today we have the mama on with us as well. I have Brad Gideon introduce himself again. I like to do that. And then Nurse Goodness will also introduce herself to us. Brad Gideon, please, you can introduce yourself to us.
Hello, my name is Gideon. Gideon Maxolamwa. I'm from Ghana and then a registered nurse here in Ireland. Yeah.
Thank you. Nurse
Thank
Goodness.
Hi, viewers. My name is Nurse Goodness. Ezifede. I'm from Nigeria, practicing in Republic of Ireland as an Irish nurse. I'm happy to be here. Nurse Momo, thank you for hosting me.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. I have to share something. Okay, when I actually had my job offer whilst I was in Ghana, I think the second person I sent to was Nurse Goodness. What she did was like, "Oh, let me, you know something, let me call you right away. I don't know if you remember this." And you actually called me on Telegram and you took me through my whole job offer. She actually took me through the whole thing. And she's like, "We said that, you know something, this is a good offer." And you could see me being worried about Sunday shift. I was like, "But the Sunday, the premium is so small." And she's like, "What are you using? It's not only about Sunday premium. My friend, go ahead and sign that offer."
I can't remember.
I know you don't remember, but I was so happy during that time because that you were like, "Let me call you," and I was so surprised to have you to really call me. It was a privilege, and today I'm here with you. And Brad Gideon, you've been a blessing to all of us, both of you. Like I can't say thank you enough. Today, guys, we have big nurses, and they've really impacted a lot of us, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, all over Africa. Both of them have really impacted all Africans, and today we are really privileged to have them. So going straight into today's conversation, without wasting any more of our time, we all know that we are going to discuss about family unification. I have a lot of people asking me all over about the eligibility criteria, about documents to submit. Today, we are going to cover as much as we can. And we need you all to stay on with us. Please remember to also share this live session as well with your friends. If you belong to any group, any WhatsApp group, any Telegram group, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, please help us share so that this will also benefit a lot of people as well. If you still haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there's goodness, it's equally going to have time to tell us more about her YouTube channel as well when the time comes. And yes, so let's go straight into it. Let's Gideon, please, when it comes to family reunification, what is the eligibility criteria for it?
So with family reunification, anyway, thank you very much for your question. Greetings to all viewers from Africa and then the rest of the world. I should say that as a nurse who wants to migrate to Ireland, especially if you've got a partner, if you've got kids, what you immediately think about is how you are going to move your partner or your kids with you. What I should say about family reunification for Ireland is that unlike the United Kingdom and other countries, in Ireland, you cannot move directly with your family if you have a job offer. What happens is that if you get a job offer, you can move, and then after you spend about 1 month or 2 months, and then you receive your work permit after getting your PIN, that is when you can ideally apply to bring your family to the Ireland, Republic of Ireland. So for every one of us, it is a priority Yeah, because the system here is such that if you are alone here, you may get depressed. And so usually you need a family or a partner to support you those times.
Yeah.
So that's just a brief to give to the introduction of today's discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. You said something that was really important to me about you waiting for your work permit. So when it comes to, we have the critical work permit and the general work permit. So then when it comes to this work permit, when are we eligible to apply? When one is holding the critical skill permit and also the general work permit?
Okay. Yeah. So just as you said, we have what is known as a critical skills work permit, which
Yeah.
falls under category A, okay, of the jobs list. And then we have the general work permit, which is under category B. Yeah. So if you have if you are a critical skills worker that is coming in as a registered general nurse, coming in as a doctor, coming in with a special skill, then you qualify to bring your family as soon as you get your work permit. Now, work permit in Ireland, I would say it really depends on the hospital or the agency you are working with. Yeah. For example, if I'm going to use myself as an example, I had my PIN in January. I received my work permit in January. So it was just about 2 weeks. Okay. As soon as I finished with my exam and then I received, I had my PIN. In 2 weeks' time, I received my work permit. So it meant that in any time from that 2 weeks, I can bring my family to Ireland. Okay. Some people are not fortunate like I had. Yeah, because some people would have to wait for 2 months, others even 3 months before they get their work permit. Yeah. But in all, ideally, if you get a work permit, okay, as soon as possible, you can apply for your family to join you. Some people would want to say that you should wait for 6 months or 2 months or whatever, but I will say just apply. Okay. Yeah. Usually, when you are applying, according to the Department of Foreign Affairs, you need at least to earn an amount of 40,000 euros in order to qualify for a critical skills. I mean, as a critical skills worker, in order to bring in your family. Yeah. But you see, at that point in time, when you are applying, you are only new in the system. So I would say if you get at least four pay slips, you are good to go. Okay. Yeah. I know other people would also have their own way of going about it, but I will say just with four pay slips means working 2 months. If you are working for the HSC, it means that every 2 weeks you are paid. So four pay slips in a month, you are getting 2 pay slips. Another month, you are getting 2 pay slips. So anytime from the second month, I feel that you can apply to bring your family with you. Yeah, so that is just about it with the critical skills work permit holders, and then when they can bring their family. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you too, Brigadian. Thank you. My goodness.
Yeah.
I know recently you brought in your family. I would really like if you're able to take us through how you were able to bring your family from Nigeria to Ireland.
All right. Thank you, Mama, for the question. Okay. I left Nigeria, that was September 2021, and got to Ireland that's in September, and then wrote my RCSI exam, passed, and after which my employer applied for the critical skill permit. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't as lucky as Gideon. Mine took, I can't remember, but I know it took quite a long time to come out. Then at a point, I had to I kept calling the office, and later on I got it, okay? So, having left Nigeria 2021, I applied for family reunification visa April 2022. Reason is because, would I say I wasn't properly informed, but I wasn't ready to bring them. Reason is because, one, I don't even have accommodation to house them, which is one of the criteria. I mean, some of the documents that you need to prove to visa office. Visa officer before bringing them. I also need to raise some money to save some money for their arrival. So those circumstances actually delayed me before I applied. So finally, I applied April 2022, and they arrived here. They got their visa December 2022, and they arrived here 2023 January. Before then, it wasn't an easy experience, just like Gideon said, because for someone who has been living with their family, your spouse, your children, or relative, and all of a sudden you find yourself living alone, living in a world or in a country, a foreign country, where you go to work and it's you and yourself, get home, only you, your pillow, your bed. No much social interaction here. Like, you hardly see people, even the ones you knew before coming, maybe by being in a particular group with them. They might not be in the same county with you even. So it wasn't a good experience. Coupled with the weather here, someone would say that it's the weather that you need your spouse around. But it was quite unfortunate that I had to stay that long before I brought them to Ireland. Okay, so my critical skill permits took some time before I got it, and I actually waited to get up to 4 months pay slip. Mine wasn't up to 6 months, as some other people would say. It was just about 4 months pay slip, and then I got evidence, proof of address, and the rest of them. Then I applied for them to come in.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we are going to go into the documents later. Goodness, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I really appreciate it. But before we go straight into the documentation, we'll just acknowledge our viewers, those who have joined us from Nigeria, from Ghana. Shout outs to all the Ghanaians. Shout outs to all the Nigerians, Zimbabweans, those from the African Nurses page created by Nurse Goodness. Shout outs to you. Thank you so much for joining out as well. So I'll just acknowledge a few of you, and then I'll do that as we continue as well. Sekina says, yay, we are here. Yes, thank you so much, Sekina, for always supporting. Victor, thank you so much, Victor. Original Akins, we are here again. Yes, we are here again. We are going to be here all the time. Before I continue, please remember to like this video. If you know you haven't liked it, please. It's very, very important. Currently, we are 44. Hit the like button, please. It's very, very important. Abuna, thank you so much for joining us. Wendy, my sister, thank you so much. Owusu Siao, big bro, thank you. And I also have Michael Sapon, that's my husband, saying, watching you live from Ghana, my love. Thank you so much, husband. Always here with me. Samson, hello, greetings, there's Mama Goodness and Gideon. Thank you so much, Samson. Karen Osei, hello, watching from Ghana. Nice to meet you, or nice to meet you, and thank you so much for joining us. Joy says, this is the most important topic I'm really interested in. Thank you. It's really, I love this feedback. I'm glad I have to know that this really means a lot to you. We don't have Collins say, following the conversation, guys. Great. Keeping us informed. Yes, we are always coming to you every day from Ireland. Gladys says, love from Ghana. Thank you so much. Joy says, Nesmo, kindly allow me. Please, I've posted my Telegram page as well. I'm also I've actually posted it on my Telegram page. When you get on the Telegram page, if you want to join the African Nurses page, there's actually information on how to join the African Nurses page created by Nurse Goodness as well. So all that is also there. Bonfua says, much love, sis. Thank you so much, sis. And then please, the rest of you, I'm actually going to acknowledge you as and when we continue with this session as well, please, so that we can go straight into the documentation. Before we go into the documentation, Braginian, when it comes to children over 18 years, do they qualify as dependents?
Dependents, unfortunately, no. Dependents are usually referred to as children or relatives below 18 years. Yeah, so in as much as you can bring your relatives above 18 years, you need to clearly demonstrate that you are their sole caretaker. Okay. Yeah, it's not easy bringing someone who is above 18, but if you can clearly demonstrate that you are their sole caretaker, and then they don't have anyone else, then they qualify to be your dependents. But as it stands now, dependents are usually below 18 years, and then of course your partner. Okay. Yeah. If you have a partner, and then also you have your relatives. Your parents. Okay. Also qualifying as dependents, you can bring to Ireland. That's it.
What of adopted children?
Yeah, so adopted children also qualify to be your dependents. Yeah, as again, you need to clearly demonstrate that you have all the legal documents, okay, to prove that that individual is your adopted child. Yeah, without the legal documents, and then everybody will tell you that Ireland and documents, they don't play with documents. So yeah, they will take a lot of documents just to make sure that you are bringing the right person you claim to have adopted. Yeah, and even if it's your child, you need to show documentation. Okay. Yeah, fortunately with your child, well, as long as you have the child's birth certificate to prove, and then the passport, it should be all right. Unlike other countries who will demand for DNA, Ireland is not like that. Yeah, so that is it.
Awesome. Okay, please, when it comes to documentation, as goodness, could you walk us through the documentation?
Okay, thank you, Nurse Mama. When it comes to documentation for joint family visa, before I start listing some of them that I can remember, I would advise those that would want to do that to make sure that they arrange their documents properly, okay, to avoid refusal. Because the truth is that it's not from what I've seen so far, Ireland is not like some other country that could email you to submit a particular document. They hardly do that, okay, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so in order to avoid refusal, please make sure you take your time, arrange your document properly, go to their website, read all those requirements, and attach them before you submit. Okay. Now, another thing is that you will not be there to defend, you will not be there to explain any document. So if there's any document that you think that could cause some discrepancies, I would advise you to write a short a letter to explain whatever the document is, and it must be in English, of course. Now, in documentation, there are important documents that you must not miss out in your visa application, joint family visa application. One of them, let me start with the passport, which is very important. Okay, your international passport. For all the passports you've used so far, you must make sure you submit the original copy of all the passports you have used. The applicant means the nurse in Ireland that is trying to bring their family over to Ireland. Okay, so in application is actually like three sections. There will be a pack of you yourself, the applicant, a pack of your spouse, and then your children. Okay, now coming to your own self, all the passports that you've used so far, including that of your spouse, okay, must come in original copy and also photocopy. Now, the photocopy, I advise people to use colored copy because sometimes they might claim that it's not clear enough or things like that. They might just refuse you with and just say maybe improper documentation. So to avoid that, use colored copy. Now, in case there are some people that can't even find their old passports, you can just get an affidavit to show that you lost it and that you actually had a passport that existed like that. Okay, so that is one. And then also, you as an applicant, you have to provide your stamp one, your GNIB, whatever stamp that you're having, okay, that qualifies you to bring your family over. The critical skill permit is another important document that shows that you have the right to work in Republic of Ireland. So you have to also submit the original copy of your critical skill permit. Your employment letter is important too, and your proof of address, as I said before, because as you're bringing people over, Ireland wouldn't want you to bring your children and leave them in the street, okay? Of course, you should be able to provide accommodation for them. So these are the things you need to back up your application with. And you also write an invitation letter, application letter, a detailed application letter that will tell more of what you want, like the number of people you are inviting over, okay, and who they are to you, how they are related to you, and why you want them to be with you in Republic of island. Okay, so in that you also need a proof of fund to show that you have enough fund to care for them, and that can only be done by providing your bank statement and also your pay slip, as
Payslip.
Pidon said.
Okay.
Yeah, your pay slip, your bank statement, that should be enough to prove your fund. And someone was asking me the other side, like how much should they have in their accounts before they can bring over. I actually went to their website, but I couldn't see any specific amount. Okay, as long as you are working and you have a good, like you are getting your salary paid fortnightly or monthly or whatever the case is, that should be enough to prove to them that you can
Yes.
take care of your family. So that's for the proof of fund. And another thing that you would need, okay, with time I would remember more. Then for the spouse, the spouse needs to also submit the bank statement, the
Yeah.
police certificate, like police
Yeah.
clearance, so that it doesn't have any criminal case. Okay, photo passports of you, your children. I mean, your children, your spouse, all of them should be there. Their birth certificate is very important, and make sure that there is no issue with the dates in the birth certificate. Is very important. If there's any
Okay.
discrepancies, you stand the chances of refusal. Okay, so their birth
Yeah.
certificate original copies should also be there. And sorry evidence of communication. I've had some people that were refused just because they were not able to demonstrate that they are in civil relationship with their partner or things like that. So it's important you also back up all these things. They are called supporting documents. So you need to back your application up with them. Evidence of communication, like if you want, you can print out a WhatsApp call or WhatsApp messages with you and your spouse or children, just to back it up to show that yes, you're in good contact with whoever that you're trying to bring over. Okay, and then when you are applying to, you are meant to go to the site and fill the online application form for each of the person, whoever that you are bringing over, your spouse, your children. You have to fill it differently. And at the end of
Yeah.
the online application form, you print out what is called application summary sheet. It's very important. Without that, you cannot be able to book for your visa. You might not even get visa. So you have to fill the online application form. And for you to start that, please make sure that you have your documents around, because once you initiate that, I think you have just 30 days to submit your visa application. Okay, so that's the
Yeah.
application summary. And then marriage certificate. Your marriage
Yeah.
certificate is very important. That's the original copy of your marriage certificate. Statements of employment from your employer to show that you are working as a nurse in with that very employer. Okay, and which other thing am I forgetting? Sorry, critical skill permit. I've said that. Okay, that's all that I can. Yeah, if there's any evidence of if there is any visa refusal, like if there were countries that you applied before and you couldn't get a visa in those countries, you are meant to submit the evidence of visa refusal too. Okay, and so that they will see
Yes.
the reason why it was refused. So these are the ones I can remember, although there are many others, but as time goes by, maybe I'll remember, then I'll be able to communicate that. So that's it. Then for the kids doesn't have much. It's basically just their international passport, their birth certificate, and that's all. Then during my own time, I also got a letter from their school just to show that they're actually
Yeah.
in school
Yes.
in their home country. These are the three basic things I can remember I submitted for the kids. Their own file doesn't have much. Unpacking your what's it called, because it's still paper based. It's not like
Yes.
UK. It's UK, you can just scan it and then you don't have to submit the hard copy. So Ireland is
Mm-hmm.
still, you have to the best of my knowledge, you have
Yes.
to submit the hard copy. Okay, so what I did
Yes.
during my own time was, like, I have a different envelope for original copies of my husband's documents. I have that of me,
Documents.
mine, and then I have that of my kids, as well as
That's nice.
documents. Yeah, the photos copy of the kids' own, mine and my
Yes.
husband, and it was
Oh,
easy to
okay.
sort out there when they got there for their biometrics.
That's awesome. Wow. That is so detailed. Thank you so much. Nice goodness. Um, Regina, anything you want to add up? just in case?
No, I think that Goodness has
She's
exhausted
captured
all of them.
everything.
Yeah, she's captured everything. Yeah.
Okay, okay, guys. So as Les Goodness was going through the document, I was actually trying to put down a few as well, just to go through for us. Okay, for the sake of the viewers. So as Les Goodness said, for you being the sponsor, you need an invitation letter. You need your passport as well, first to last copy. You need your GNIB card, that is the residency permit as well. When you come into Ireland, you're going to get your residency permit, and then you need your bank statement. She also mentioned that we also need our pay slip, our employment letter from our employer, and also your PIN. Would you need your PIN?
Yeah, there are also no document is too big or too
It's too
small.
big or small. I was trying to write them down. Okay, and also accommodation, very, very important. And then utility bill and all that. Wow. And the sponsor, you need your passport as well, as we all know, marriage certificates for your spouse to present, police clearance, birth certificates for yourself and then your children and all that, family pictures and all that, and also bank statements as well. Wow. That is a lot. That is a lot. Okay. I hope
Proof
I
of
was
address.
able to pardon?
Proof of address too. Proof of address.
Address.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it depends on the number of kids that you have. It's important, like in Ireland here. Gideon, maybe you tell us better on that. Like if you have different gender, like you have female child and male child, of course you should have a separate room for them. But I wouldn't advise anybody to apply with shared accommodation because it doesn't really make sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Ragina, when it comes to extended family, like your mother and your father, any other document that we should add up?
So likewise, you need to add their your birth certificate. Your birth certificate should be a proof that they are your parents. Okay. Yeah, and then they should also have their passports. Mothers and fathers at this time may not be regularly involved in work. Yeah, so usually it is your bank statement that is going to cover them. Yeah.
Okay.
But if they also have a bank statement, you can add their bank statement to that. But if they don't have, they are not so hard on parents. Because especially if the parent is above the age of 55, 60 years, okay, they are not too hard on the parents because they know once they come in, when their time is up, they are definitely going to go. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So as long as you are able to demonstrate that once they come in, you are capable of taking care of them, that should be it. Yeah. It is very hard for the embassy to deny parents a visa because already they are too old. They don't really need Ireland. Let me put that in code. They really don't really need Ireland for anything. Yeah. So they usually give them.
Okay. So would we have to like bring in like documents to show that we've been sending them money back home or anything like that? Do we have to really go that far?
As Ms. Goodness said, no document is too small. Yeah, So as long as there has been communication between the two or the three of you, you can send. It will all be captured on your bank statement. If you are given a detailed bank statement, definitely, if you have been sending money to your parents, it should definitely show. Or if you've been using these modern apps like SendWave or other Flutterwave or those modern apps that you use to send direct transfers to them. Usually, you can print. You can have a printout of that and then attach to the documents you are submitting to the embassy. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. When it comes to the duration, how long do we have to wait before we finally have them join us after we've finally submitted the documents?
Before I answer that question, I will just want to say something in regards to one thing Nes Goodness mentioned. It's with regards to you moving, providing details of your accommodation. Okay. Yeah. One thing we should know is that there is crisis in terms of accommodation here in Ireland, and the embassy is fully aware of that. Okay. Yeah. So don't, my advice to many people is that don't wait till you move into a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom apartment before getting an evidence of how do you say that, before get before getting a tenancy agreement for those and then using that to apply. I will say go on, even if you are in a shared apartment, go on with that. Yeah,
Okay.
because as you go on with that, by the time they get their visa, and that leads me to answer your second question, the question you just asked, because usually the waiting time, ideally, the waiting time should in the past was around 28 days. Okay, was less than a month, or let's say at most a month. But recently, the waiting times have been up to 9 months for some people. Personally, mine was around 9 months. Yeah, because that was a COVID period until the time that they said that they had the information submitted by VFS and whatsoever. Okay, so that was two months in advance. Okay, so they said that 2 months was ideally they were not working within that period. So apart from that 2 months, another 7 months elapsed. So you can imagine waiting for 9 months for your family to join you. Now, the latest ones that we are receiving for people who are receiving their families now, their visas now, I think that the latest someone had was only 2 months. Only 2 months. So if that is anything to go by, it means that they have cleared those backlogs. Yes. Always the concern were because of the COVID, there were a lot of backlogs to be cleared. And because of those backlogs, it delayed the process. So people had to wait for 9 months, 7 months. Now it's coming down gradually from 6 months. Now the latest person, who I should say is very lucky, got it in 2 months. Yeah, and we are hoping and praying that will continue. Yeah, so for those who are new in Ireland, they might get their families joining them after applying and then spending like 2 months, or who knows, even it can come down to 1 month. Yeah, it can come down to 1 month. So that is it. Ideally, on paper, it should be as soon as possible. But the reality is that we are not receiving our families as soon as possible compared to other countries like India, South Africa, and then Zimbabwe. I should say our process as Ghanaians and then Nigerians is quite slow. I really don't know where to put the blame, whether it is a blame for the embassy in Abuja, because unlike Ghana and Nigeria, who process our documents in Nigeria, you will have people who apply through South Africa, who apply to India, receiving theirs in record time of 28 days. I remember once when I applied for my family to come, just imagine waiting for 9 months. But all those who came after me from India, within 1 month, their families are already here with them. Then I was like, what is wrong? What is really happening? So those times were very hard times. And I know so many people who have also gone through the same ordeal. But the good news is that change is coming. And then at least now it's been reduced to 2 months. We hope that continues, or better still, it's further reduced to 1 month. So that is the answer I'll give to that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And sorry, just to add this, that is for critical skills permit holders. That is for critical skill permit holders. Exactly. But if you are on a general work permit, then you will have to wait for 1 year before you even apply to bring your family.
Yes.
That's the difference between the two. For general permit holders, they have to wait for 1 year. So just imagine waiting for 1 year before you applying and then waiting for another 9 months. So almost 2 years. So that is so stressful. That's it.
At least it's very satisfying for us to know that at least per what we are seeing, we all know that at least that the backlog has been cleared. So it's very, the future is really bright and very hopeful. At least for me, I'm really taking a very deep breath, which is very
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's goodness, I know we've already touched a little bit when it comes to job hunting. Okay, anything you want to touch on it again? Maybe when we should really start, really start. Especially, I really need this advice.
Okay, job hunting.
Sorry, for hunting for a house. Sorry.
For a house?
Yeah, accommodation for your family.
Okay. All right, before I go speak on that, I forgot to mention that photos is important too in the documentation, like
Okay.
your wedding pictures, your family picture too, you know. And for the general skill permit holders, I just want to encourage them that they should keep their fingers crossed. Things can change because I could remember before when I started this island journey, was it in 2000 and I can't remember the date anyways, but then we the critical skill permits holder weren't bringing our family. Like I wasn't in the
Yes.
country then, but I read it
Mm-hmm.
over the news. Like it was then that they changed it to we being able to bring them immediately as soon as we get the critical skill permit. So anything can still, that of the general skill permit holders, it could still change. Okay, so that's by the way. With regards to your question on housing, Gideon said it rightly that accommodation is a big issue as far as let me say Dublin is concerned, and even Ireland in general. Okay, for
Yeah.
those counties that are very close to Dublin, it's equally difficult to find accommodation at the moment, and even if you do, they're very expensive. Okay, to pay for. So you just they basically go to some website like dav.ie. I can't even remember some of those sites, even in Facebook, But the thing is that you just have to be very careful of fraudsters and do not pay for anything until you go for viewing and be sure that you are okay with the accommodation. Okay. So
Yes.
another thing I would encourage, of which one of the agencies that I help out in recruitment to some extent advised. She made me to understand the reason why she's not taking some African nurses is because some of us are not really being helpful by housing others, that some other nationals do house, like now you are living in 2-bedroom apartment, you just sublet one to one of your maybe someone that is coming from your country to stay and write the exam and things like that. But generally getting accommodation in Dublin is expensive, and if you want to go for something like a shared accommodation, just as I did in my one of my YouTube videos, you should be budgeting around 800 euro per month. And in Dublin, there's this thing we call deposit. You have to deposit like whatever you are going to pay on monthly basis. You're going to make deposits of this exact amount. That means if
Yes.
the room is going for 800, you're going to be paying 1,600 for a start, and then 800 subsequently on monthly basis. Okay, so these are the things you need to get ready for. That is for shared accommodation. But if you want to go for institute in Dublin, you might be talking about 1,500. The thing is that it's even difficult to find, not even the money. So I would advise for those that can drive, if you are still in your home country and you can just quickly learn how to drive before coming over. And even if you don't, if you're already here, it's still not late. You can just get yourself involved with driving school, get what it takes to drive so that you can
Yes.
look for accommodations that are close.
Reduce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in counties, it's quite cheaper. Like where I am living now, although it's quite far from Dublin, but then it's far cheaper than what I paid when I was in Dublin. In fact, I'm
Yeah.
even paying lower now in a whole house alone than what I paid in shared accommodation in Dublin. You get. So
Yeah.
basically, just for them to go to the website, search for accommodation. And when if like you want to use that daft.com, I would advise you to search for the adverts between 24 to 48 hours advert, not the ones that they advertise
Ah,
like 2 months ago, three
months
months
ago.
ago. Those ones
Okay.
are already taken. So refresh it and search for the ones between 24 to 48 hours. You stand the
Oh,
high chances of getting it. Okay,
that's a
and
good clue.
yeah, that's how I got mine anyway. When that was how I got a
Okay.
shared accommodation then. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Braginion, when it comes to school hunting, when should we start? Should we wait for our family is in, our kids are in with us before we start with school hunting, or when should we start with that?
So as I think that you should start as soon as you know their visa will be approved. That's quite dicey. Yeah. So usually the school season starts from September and then runs till June. So usually admissions will start somewhere in January for every school in Ireland. Yeah. So depending on the time that you've applied for the visa, usually if it is after January, or you are expecting that your children will move in some, maybe somewhere around September, then
Yeah.
I mean you can apply. You can just go to the school, tell them that this is the situation. You've applied for your kids to come into Ireland, and then if they will take the details of the child, and then they will reserve a place for that child. That is, if there is a place. Now,
Yeah.
before the school season starts, if the child is not yet in Ireland, they will give you a call, okay, to come, to find out if you really want to go on with the admission, because there are other people who might also be on the waiting list. So that if you know that your child is not ready to come in, then you have to give up that admission for someone who is
For
ready
someone.
to take up. Yeah, so I should say anytime at all, you can just apply for the child. Once admission
Yeah.
is secured, anytime the child comes in, they can walk straight into the school. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good information. Thank you. Let's go. There's anything you want to add up?
Yeah, just to support what he said, because I got admission for my kids even before their arrival. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
yes, I did that. I went to the school just as Gideon explained, and then I filled the form, submitted some documents, and later on I got an email from them that they've been offered admission and stuff like that. Okay, so when it
Yeah.
was close to September, I can't remember the date, I think around August, I got an email to, for me to go and pay for their the books and
And
the
all that.
uniform. And as at then, I was still in the queue in there down there in the embassy. They've not gotten their visa.
Wow.
So when I saw that the visa wasn't forthcoming, because I was believing God that that kind of enthusiasm that is going to
Yeah.
come tomorrow, and
Come.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it didn't come as I expected. So I had to cancel it. That was early September, so that other people in the waiting list
People.
can take the slots. So that was how I secured the though during application they might ask you for PPS number of those kids, but it's something that
Okay.
you can as well you can provide later on, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, because for you to even apply for the PPS, the school needs to give you kind of a letter to show that
To show that they are in
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Okay. So then that brings us straight to this question. When it comes to child benefits, can you tell us a little bit about child benefits and any other benefits that we are entitled to in Ireland when you bring our family? Then Gideon can also support.
Thank you. Just today I was making comparison between UK and Ireland, because my sisters are in UK, so I was just
Oh,
trying to compare what they receive.
if,
I mean their case there and what
mhm.
I receive here in Ireland. Okay, so when it comes to child benefit, of course, when your spouse, your children comes into the country, you are meant to apply for their PPS. I think that's one of the most important things you should do within few weeks of their arrival in the country, to get their PPS. Okay, it's very important. And as
Okay.
soon as they get that, it's one of the documents then that you use to apply for their child benefit. Ireland, I would say, is a good country. They pay our kids, that's those between 0 to 18, no, to 16 years, I think.
Yeah.
16.
Mm-hmm.
16 years, yeah. But for some special reasons, for some special children, they might pay up to 17. But for now, I would say 0 to 16 years, to the best of my knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is to apply for the child benefit. And the good thing is that they will pay them from the day they enter this country. You might not be in a, you don't have to necessarily be in a haste to apply for their benefits. As long as you are able to apply within 1 year of their arrival into the country. But if you don't apply within 1 year of their arrival, then you stand the chances of forfeiting those areas, okay? Like
Okay.
they arrived January 18 thereabouts, okay? I applied was it a couple of just like a was it April or something that I applied. That's 4 months later that I applied. But surprisingly, they paid just a couple of days ago, they paid from that January they arrived till May. Yeah, May.
Wow.
So from, I don't know, Gideon, you might be the one to tell us more on that. But from what I saw, what I got is like a child is 140 per child. Because I have 2 kids and they said 280. I don't know. Gideon, is that same with you?
Yeah, basically it's the same for every child. It's 140 euro.
40.
Yeah, so depending on the number of kids that you have, you just multiply it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
but
I have 4.
but you have 4. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah,
That's big
so
money.
yeah, that is huge money. That is
That's
huge
good
money.
money.
Not so huge if you are staying in Dublin, though. Yeah, because by the
I'll
time
move
you
out.
realize the rent is taking all of them. So I mean, basically, it's 140 euro per child. But then during school seasons, there is what is known as a back to school allowance. Okay,
Okay.
so sometimes instead of the 140 euro, the government can top it up to maybe addition of 100 euro for each child who is
For each
going
child.
to school. Yeah, so so maybe around
Oh, this one
240
is good news.
back to school. Yeah, that is
Like
good
that.
news. That is something we were not having where we came from. You get it?
Yeah.
So that makes it good news. Yeah. So that is it. Back to school allowance, and sometimes the government can surprise these kids sometimes.
Oh,
So any point in time, the minister for children or social affairs, they come up with some of these things, and then they surprise the kids. So,
wow.
but you are sure that at least every month you get your 140 euro for one child.
One
For
child.
one child. Yeah.
One child. That's good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot to say
Yeah.
this, Nurse Momo. Yeah, in application for child benefit, okay, of course, after getting their PPS number, the next thing you should be targeting is to apply for their child benefit. And in the application, you just have to go and print out the child benefit form, okay? You print it
Okay.
out and fill it, and there are some original documents that they requested. Of course, you are meant
Yeah.
to attach it, but personally, I didn't attach it because I was like, it's a bit risky to attach my stamp one, attach some of
Yeah.
those vital documents. So what I did during my own time, I filled the child benefit form along with a residential habitual form. There's one other form, it's very important that you
Okay.
fill. Yeah, they will even ask you to print it out and fill it together. And then I took the original copy, all the original copies they requested, to the Department of wherever, I can't remember, that is just not far from me. And they cited the original copy and stamped in the application that they cited
Application.
those original copy, and they were even the
Okay.
one that now sent it to the office. And after like a couple of weeks, I got paid by them.
You
So
got paid.
yeah, so as I told you earlier today, I was trying to compare. This may not be the reason why you're holding this, but I might just say this to
See, yes.
encourage people to come to Ireland. That is a good place. I was trying to compare what my sister's children earn over there in the UK and what we earn here
Yeah.
in Ireland. I mean, for our kids, and I found out that they pay higher because we 140, but there I think my other sister's son is around 84 pounds, and the
Okay.
immediate younger is earning 54 pounds. So from their own explanation, the more the kids, the lesser the money. I
The
stand to
lesser
be
the money.
corrected. Sorry guys, via this information, please, it might not be 100% accurate.
Yes.
Do not quote me
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, please. But
Yeah.
this was just based on my conversation today.
Station.
So that was
Yeah.
what I was informed by them, that The elder one is 84, the other one, the more the kids, the lesser the money. But one surprising thing about Ireland is that from the letter we even got, it said if you happen to give birth to twins, okay, those twins will earn 1.5% of whatever they are meant to earn. And if you give birth to triplets, they will earn double of whatever, meaning that, okay, my child now is earning 140. So if I give birth to triplets, that each of them will be earning 140 times two. That's a big money. Apparently, maybe
that is good news. Maybe my fifth child will be twins.
Yeah, so they're actually good in child support, if you ask me. Yeah.
That is so wonderful. So when it comes to the form, do you just have to go online and just type child benefit forms, or you have to? There is a specific site for that.
It was actually a colleague that sent it to me. I'm not sure where she got it, but I don't know. I'm not very sure where she got it, but I have the form anyways. I can always share it.
Okay, guys. So guys, you guys do not really have to worry. When we are done with the whole session, I'm actually going to type and then post all the documents that we are talking about, the listed documents for the family unification, the child benefits. I'm actually going to list all of them at the description. So please remember to come back and then check all those things when I do post it at the description button. But Gideon, please, do you want to mention something? I thought you were about to say something.
Yeah, so just in addition, I was just checking. So you can receive as much as 8 for 8 children. Yeah. So just imagine that will be almost like a football starting team. Yeah. So the eighth child, it means that for each one of them 140. So if you have 8 children, that will be 1,120. Yeah, so maybe this will encourage our beautiful women to consider.
For me, I can consider, but it's no way.
8, okay. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, it is there. And what they are saying is that it is a universal payment. Okay, it really doesn't matter your income level or your social insurance. Okay, it doesn't matter how much you are earning at the end of the month. Yeah. No, not at all. This is especially for the children. So you realize that Ireland is one of the few countries in the world, I should say, who really thinks more about children. Yeah, because they believe that children are the future, and so they are making every room, okay, to make the country so accommodating for children, so that they are happy wherever they find themselves. So this only tells us as parents that once the child goes to school, more is expected of that child. Yeah. Okay, please let's take note of this. It is for the children. The money is for the children. Mothers, the monies are not for you, mothers. Okay, fathers, the monies are not for you. And just to add up, anytime you are making an application as a couple, okay, for the child benefit, it is the mother's bank details that you use.
Okay.
As a father, you cannot use your bank details. I remember when I was applying for my kids, I used my bank details thinking that, oh, this money was going to come into my account. The next thing I received was a letter that, no, are the kids having biological, do they have their biological mother present in Ireland? I said yes. They said no, you have to use the mother's details as much as possible. The only time you can use your details as a father is when you are a single parent.
Right.
Okay, if you are a single parent, then you can use your details as a father. The money will come directly to your account. But until then, it should always be the address or the details of the mother that you use. Thank you.
That is good news. Thank you, Gideon. Okay.
Oh, you see, that is good news.
That is good news.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on to medical insurance. I know in some other parts of Europe, when it comes to medical issue, it's actually free. What about Ireland? In respect to our family medical insurance, Gideon, what do you have to say about that? Any advice?
Yeah, so the good thing again is that for children born in Ireland, medical insurance, going to the hospital is free, okay, for children born in Ireland. And then children who are even not born in Ireland but are now in Ireland up till the age of 6 years, they can go to the hospital free of charge. Yeah.
Okay.
But after the age of 6, you need to opt for any of the insurance packages for them. So there are a lot of insurance companies in Ireland. Each one of them has their own terms. So I really would not want to be in a position to give full details of the insurance companies and then their packages. But you can consider the many different insurance um, companies in Ireland, look at the packages that they are offering, and see how much you can also contribute at the end of the month towards that. So the good thing is that at least if, before a child turns 7 years, medical, anything with regards to hospital is free, okay, for that child.
That's good. My goodness, anything you want to add up?
No, I don't really have much to say in that, but all I know is that I have a medical insurance for my family, and is also one of the prerequisites that you need to provide for your spouse to get their stamp, their GNIB. So that was actually the reason why I did that. So I don't really know much about the medical insurance. Yeah.
Are you willing to like maybe a budget? How much we should budget? Like a range, not
Yeah,
necessarily telling us how much you pay.
yeah, this is actually social media, but I would advise one to just keep within 1,000 to 1,400 within that range on yearly basis. Okay,
On
so it
yearly basis.
depends. It depends on the one you choose. There are many of them out there. Just Google it and then check their terms and conditions and choose the one you want. But just budget within 1,000 to 1,400 on annually. That's on yearly basis.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much. When it comes to childbirth, in an instance where you give birth and then you need someone to come assist you in Ireland, maybe it might not be your mother because maybe in an instance where your mother is no more, can you just bring your sister or any other person on this basis? There's goodness or Bragidian. Anybody wants to take this? Bragidian.
Yeah, so as long as you are able to clearly demonstrate or give evidence to the fact that your mother is no more, and then the one who is going to help you in that regard is the person you intend to bring in. You see, I think that these immigration people, they are normal people like us. They know what is
Yeah.
happening in the world. Yeah. So as long as you are able to provide the relevant documents and then letters to that effect that your mother is no more, but then your
Yeah.
sister is the only person who can stand in as your mother and then take care of your kids, they will definitely grant the visa. Yeah. It may not be that easy, but people do it and then it's successful. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, thank you very much. And when it comes to type of visas issued by the embassy and then possible durations to make the decision, do we like goodness, do you have anything to say about that?
We've discussed part of that when Gideon
Yeah,
said that it took him 9 months for him to get his visa.
yeah.
Mine took 8 months, and that's simply because it depends on the embassy, anyways. Because I have colleagues from different other countries like Zimbabwe, Indians, and Filipinos that I worked with. It took them just like 2 weeks, let's say within 2 weeks to
Just to,
1 month for their visa to be approved. I mean, for their visa for them to approve their visa, kind of from the day
okay,
they went for biometrics to the day they got their visa is within 2 weeks or 1 month. But for we that came from the other side of the country, I don't know. For now, the line I would say, okay, Gideon says somebody got hers within 2 months, but I know some that are presently in the queue for 7 months now and they've not gotten. I really can't tell the reason for the delay, but for those coming from that part of the world, I would just say just estimate or just budget the time frame of maybe 2 to 8 months. Okay.
okay,
Yeah,
yes.
that's like I don't really have much to say in that because you never can tell. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how long
Okay, thank you so much. Guys, so now it's time for questions. If you have any question, kindly just drop it at the comment section and I'll just read out. Then we'll try to have them answered for you. Okay, if you have any query at all regarding this, please post it. I'll just continue with my with reading of the comments. Judith says, "Greetings, son." Thank you, Judith. And then there's Goodness, I miss you from Gertrude. Thank you so much, Gertrude. And Nanayao says, "God, my boss says, God bless you." Thank you so much, Nanayao. We have Faith. Thank you for arranging this. Thank you so much, Faith, for always coming through to also watch my videos. Faith is watching from Botswana. Wow, thank you so much. Kindly help share this video for us as well. Samuel says, "God bless you, Sister Lucina. God bless you too." Joy says, "What about someone who can be a caretaker of children below 10?" I think we've already answered that. If that's the case, then if just as Brian Gideon said, if you have any document that you want to submit, definitely you can just submit and just attach all the letters that you are supposed to, and then definitely that will be given to you. And then we have Winifred, God bless you, Nes Momo, God bless you, Nes Goodness, and Sir Gideon. God bless you too, Winifred. Great to be here. We are also happy to have you. It says, "Please, what of adding your nanny or help as a dependent?" I think that all has been explained. If you want to add anyone, just get all their documents, explain the reason why you want them to join you, and then definitely that will be taken care of. Tamai say, "Thank you for sharing with us this valuable information. We thank you also for joining us." Blessing says, "Minimum of how dependents are allowed." So as I think with the minimum, do we have any minimum when it comes to dependents? Maybe the embassy says just 5.
Well, I don't know if there's any minimum, but I would advise you, because one thing with some of us, we African, like you see what is happening in UK now, okay, that they can't, I mean, students can't bring their dependents. Please, if they're not that much, I wouldn't say they're not much necessary, but think very well before adding them, so that you don't also subject your visa to refusal, please. So act wisely. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so guys, keep posting your questions. Don't go out. This is a very important part for you guys to also ask any query at all that you have regarding this. Okay. Tekina says, "In case of childbirth in Ireland, can you invite over your mother or relation to help you with the care if the baby, even after your husband has joined you?" Yes, I think that's been answered already. Definitely yes. Wendy says, "Tekina, you're already planning having more kids." Yes, I'm sure she's already planning having more kids. Blessing says, "Maximum of dependents are allowed to." Yeah, that has been answered as well. And Abuna says, "How do I bring my junior sister who is above 18 years, please?" With that, Bragina, we wouldn't want to touch anything on this. Bringing a sister who is above 18 years.
That is you see, ideally you can't bring your sister.
Yeah.
Ideally, you can only bring your biological children, your parents, okay, and then your adopted children. So you can't bring your sister. The only time you can bring your sister is when you can clearly demonstrate that you are the sole caretaker.
Yeah.
Okay, without you, there is nobody else to take care of her. Then based on that, you can bring her, but it's not easy for you to bring your sister. That one is it's assured. Yeah.
Okay.
And considering the fact that she's also more than 18 years, it becomes more difficult. Usually if she's below 18 years, it is much easier to do that than if the relative is above 18 years. So that is a simple answer I'll give to that.
So in addition to what Gideon said, well, if you really want to bring them, they can actually come through different other routes, not coming as a dependent, They can come through student visa. You can also invite them on short stay visa, like visiting visa. They will just come within 90 days and go back. Okay. But the truth is that to get such visa approved is not usually easy for sisters, but it can be done for parents, okay? But for sisters and those that they have high likelihood of not returning to the country. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know the chances of getting it approved.
Yeah. How about maybe they can just come through education if they want to further their education? Yeah, that would be easier.
That's quite expensive, but if you can
that's
do
also
it,
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Someone
Yeah,
says, how do I
with
bring sorry.
yeah, with
Yeah,
the current issues that are happening in the United Kingdom, some of these questions it's quite
it's
difficult
quite
to
difficult to
answer.
really touch it. Yes,
Exactly. So I mean, they can come in. They can come in through education, but Goodness mentioned, education here in Ireland is very expensive.
expensive.
It's very expensive, especially if you are coming outside the European Union. I mean,
Yeah,
the amount of money you are going to pay for fees is very expensive. But if you are
yeah,
ready to pay that, why not? They can always join you. Okay,
yeah.
they can come in to study, not join you.
To
Let me choose
study,
my
not to
words
join you, but to
carefully.
study. Yes,
Exactly, to study. And if they come in to study, and then after their studies, they can apply for a work permit. Okay, even during the when they are studying, they have some 20 hours that they can use to work.
and equally
So
work.
even
Yes,
after the studies, they can also stay in, get a work permit, and then that's it. They
yes,
stay.
yes. Okay, guys. So if you haven't watched my video on how to come to Ireland through education, when you're done, you can equally go through that video, and then you have all the information that you need. And then I'll go on with the questions. Blessing says that, do I need to travel with the original copy of my child's birth certificate and passport? No. If you're coming to Ireland, please leave those documents at home. You don't have to bring them to Ireland, please, because they will need to submit those things back home. So please, you don't have to bring it to Ireland. P says, please, is it possible to bring my kids without their father? Um, with that background, let me show that to you. Because for me, I'm saying
Oh my goodness. I just mentioned goodness name. Oh yeah. Of course it's possible to come without the father. That is I don't know in what context you are talking about. If you are divorced, okay, if you are divorced, then you should show evidence of the divorce. Okay, but you see, even in a divorce, the decisions might sometimes be in the divorce letter that at any point when a child is moving outside the country, both parents should agree.
yeah,
So there should be an agreement between you and your former spouse,
yeah,
okay? And then there should be a letter to that effect that he or she has agreed that the child can move outside the jurisdiction, which in this instance, the country that you are in currently. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Else it will be difficult to move a child alone. Yeah, because
yeah.
even at the immigration, they will ask you lots of questions. They will ask you lots of questions. If it is one parent bringing both children, they seem to ask lots of questions. But if they realize that it's the two parents who are moving with the kids, they don't usually ask any question at all. So
At all.
if you want to move a child, definitely get the proper documentation, and then it should be easy
It
to
should be
bring this
easy.
child along. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
Before I move
Gideon,
on reading, yeah, right. Okay,
no,
let's go. Let's please go on.
no, Gideon is right because I'm just going through it here now. He said, in case where the parent is divorced, a notarized copy must be submitted and it must be signed by the whatever that, as in like, yeah, just exactly what Gideon said.
Yes,
That
sir.
the father of the child is supposed to give a written consent that
Yeah,
he is approving that the child should be
approving
taken to
to be
Republic
taken.
of Ireland. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Before we continue with all the questions, I'll have Next Goodness tell us a little bit about her channel as well. Before I forget, because she's also a YouTuber. So anything at all you want to share, and please her name as well. Actually, when she mentioned her name, please remember to go to her YouTube channel as well and also subscribe. Before I
Okay.
continue with the questions.
All right, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Okay, and Nurse Momo. Okay, as I introduced myself earlier, I'm Nurse Goodness. I'm from Nigeria, working in Republic of Ireland as an Irish nurse. I'm a YouTuber too. Like I have my page in YouTube. So
Yeah,
please, if you like what we do, we almost do similar. I do similar thing with Nurse Momo. So please go to
yeah,
my YouTube channel, search for Nurse Goodness, and you will see me there. Please click on subscribe button and then take your time to go through the videos there. And if there are areas that you want me to speak on, please do not hesitate to reach out to me on the areas you need
definitely.
clarification
Yeah.
on. Okay, so that is it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Next Goodness. Thank you. That's very important. Please remember to subscribe to her channel. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you still haven't subscribed. Like all our videos, watch and comment. Keep encouraging us, our African nurses. We need your support as Africans as well. Let's push each other, which is very, very important. No pulling down. It's all about pushing each other up. Okay. And then we have let me see your name. It says Bonnie P says Adominti, my 10 will be 2 months. Amen. 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 Second also says amen. Lady says, although we are talking about red list. Okay, lady, I have a video that I did last week, a live video about red list. If you want anything regards to red list, kindly look for that video and please watch that video. We have all the suggestions in there. Oluwakemi, please forgive me, I haven't mentioned your name correctly, says, must utility bill be in the name of applicant or name of the landlord?
No, it wasn't be in the name of the applicant, okay? During my own time, of course, I've not gotten a house then, kind of. So it was my landlady that I submitted her utility bill. Okay, so I already have a letter that I am a tenant there. So you don't have to, it's not necessary that you have to submit a utility bill that bears your own name. During my own time, I didn't submit. Maybe Gideon will say more on that.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah, you don't need to. If you have, why not? You can submit it. But if you don't have, you'll not be penalized for that. As long as you are able to send a letter of tenancy that you are a tenant there, that should be it. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't submit a utility bill at all.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Alima Kone says, great job. That is my mom actually backing me up there. Thank you, mommy. And that's my biological mom, actually, not just the mommy, but my biological mom.
Wow.
Giving me thumbs out. Thank you, mommy.
Great for you.
The whole family is always behind,
Wow, that's
Thank
good.
you. She's Alima one. Thank you for joining me. Please says, please, when do I start applying for them after getting to Ireland? Please, I believe that this has already been touched. And then Senior says, how do we get to school? Well, how do we get to the school when we haven't gotten accommodation for the entire family? I believe that Nurse Goodness already touched this already, explained everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want to say something. Yes.
Yeah, let me just say, yeah, I actually got the school then because I was thinking that they were going to join me then, but unfortunately they didn't join immediately. So by the time they got their visa, I left that accommodation to a new accommodation. So what I did was I canceled the previous admission, and then looked for another admission close to where I'm living at the moment. So it's not a problem. You can always cancel at any time if their visa is not yet
not favorable.
Cancel, yeah.
Okay. Senior says, where and how do I apply for the allowance? I think Nurse Goodness already touched on how you can apply for the child allowance. You have to go online, go look for the forms, and then I believe all the guidelines is there. So this is actually a very good topic for a new video from both Nurse Goodness and myself. Okay. And then Nanaya says, okay, I can't retrieve, forgive me. Yeah, Momo dear, okay, line, no papa. Now you have to have like the fifth baby had to come. That is very, very important. And Judith says, Momo, you like money too much. Oh, we all love money. That's why we are here, my father. And then let's see if I have any questions. And you need something. She says, how about 4 twins? Wow, I think people are really interested in the child benefits. But Gideon said it's for the child. Please, it's not for you. Please, mothers, be very careful, including myself. Please keep it for the kids, not for yourself. So 4 twins, wow, then you have money. Jennifer says we will take care of the money for our kids. Okay. Agape says, hey, Lucinda, good news, good news, money when it comes to money is very, very important. Sorry for those who do not really understand my local dialect. And then Suli says, what time is it in Ireland? Is it as though it is sun? Yes. So currently it's 8:45 p.m. We are in summer now, if I should say. So yeah, so it's 8:45. That's why it's still very sunny p.m. because we are still in the summer. And then we have summer. Okay, do you apply for medical? Okay, Sonia says, do we have to apply for medical insurance for our kids below 6, and where? Yes. I think there's goodness already touched on it. Unless maybe anybody wants to touch on this.
Medical insurance.
Below 6. No. Below 6, no. Yeah, sorry. Below 6. So above 6 years, please. Above 6 years.
Yeah, no. So below 6, what you do is you apply for a medical card.
Medical card. Okay.
Yeah, medical card is different from medical insurance. Yeah,
Okay.
so with the medical card, as long as the child is born in Ireland or is below 6 and then has moved to Ireland, the child qualifies for a medical card. Now,
Medical
before
card.
you get that medical card, you need to see a GP. Okay. Yeah, you need
Okay.
to have a GP, and then that GP should agree to be the child's GP. So,
Okay.
because when you are filling the form, they will ask for a GP for the child. And then they are going to send a message to that GP if the GP agrees to take care of that child. If the GP agrees to take care of that child, then that child is going to have a medical card. Now, on
Yeah.
that medical card, if you receive it, you realize that the name of the GP is on the medical card.
Okay.
So anytime that the child is sick, you can send that child to that GP for the GP to take care of the child. But apart from that, if there is any emergency and then you have to go to the hospital, just send that card with you and then it will be free of charge for the child. Nothing to pay. If the child is 6 years or below, yeah.
Awesome. Michael and then Sophia, they are both asking for jobs for spouses. And most demanded skills when it comes to jobs for spouses. For me, I'll say healthcare assistants. Anything else? As a
Driving.
job. Driving.
Yeah, taxi drivers, they make a lot of money here in the country. So healthcare assistant, but the thing is that to get the license to drive here, it's quite a process. Okay, so but the easiest one, if you ask me, based on what I've seen so far, is working in a warehouse is easier to get, I would say, and also working as healthcare assistant before you can now channel your attention to.
To the driving.
Yeah, and that reminds me of Lucinda. Please, for Gideon said that for those that child benefits, they are schooling here, elementary, that's primary, secondary is free. I would say free. So we are actually meant to save some of those money, or if not all the money, for their college, because their college here you have to pay, as I was told. Like you have to pay the school fees. Gideon, am I correct?
Yeah. So for the private colleges, the parent has to pay, but for the public ones, they are also free. Yeah, they are free. But you see, even the not you see, they are free, but there are certain things that you need to pay. Okay, for example, the books that these children need to use, sometimes it could even amount to a whole lot of euros. You need to buy all of them for that the child. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's free, but if you want to move your child to maybe a private school, then you need to pay. Yeah.
Okay.
The laws can change at any point in time. Yeah. So it is possible that today it's free. Tomorrow it might not be free. So we just need to prepare for whatever that comes up in the near future. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Original asked a very important question. He says that assuming at the point of a visa application, one is single and filled online visa as a single status, but got married few weeks to departure, is it possible to start the family reunification process in Ireland? Gideon, anything to say?
Yeah, if you applied that you were single before coming in and then you got into Ireland and now you are married, yeah, I mean it happens most of the time. You just need to apply and then tell them you are married. You can just attach your marriage certificates. If you have evidence of communication, attach all of those, and then why not? They'll grant your visa. Yeah. The mistake people do is that they just assume that by saying that you are married, they will accept it. No. Okay. Now, there is this thing known as de facto partner.
Yeah.
De facto partner. That is someone you intend to marry. Okay. It is according to them, you can bring such a person to Ireland without necessarily marrying that person, but you have the intention. But I can guarantee that process will be quite tedious for you. Okay. Yeah. But if you are married with all the documentations, definitely they will look at your documentations, they'll look at the pictures you have provided in evidence, and then they'll grant the visa. sometimes I know the frustration people go through because of previous experiences they've had with regards to visas. But I should
Yeah.
say visas are they are not. Nesmomo, I watched your video while you were applying to go to the UK.
Yes.
Okay, and then you realize that if you were in Ghana applying, it wouldn't have been that smooth for you, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
but you
Yeah.
realize that, yeah, so the point is visas are not things that we should be scared of.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you make your way into Ireland, no
Yeah.
matter which country you want to go in the world, just
Okay.
apply. They'll give
Just
you the
apply.
visa. Just apply. The
Just
same is
apply.
if you want to bring your family member who qualifies, your especially your wife and your children, just apply. Provide the necessary documentation, and then they will issue. But let's be very careful. There are certain things we cannot say on this page, but
Yes.
if you want to bring in someone who is not your biological child, pretending that that person is your biological child. I don't know if people have done that in the past. Let us beware of those things because it can also cause delays in our process.
In that
Okay,
process.
yeah, it can cause because some people when they were entering Ireland, they said they didn't have children. Okay, but
Yeah.
they come into Ireland and then in a space of 2 months they are applying for visa and then they are
What?
providing about 4 children.
Wow.
Where did you get that? Where did
Where
you
did you
get the
get?
children from? You get it. So definitely these people are just a simple logic that no,
Yeah.
these are not your biological children. You are just
Yes.
trying to bring in children
In
into the
children.
state.
Yeah.
So definitely it is going to drag your process.
Yeah.
And so some people, they are spending about 1 year, 2 years with this visa processing, not because it is a deliberate stuff from the embassy, but it's because of what they themselves have done.
Job done.
So let us, in as much as we want to bring in our family members, we should also be wary. Yeah,
Where
because sometimes you realize that it will drag and then affect your real
your real
biological
biological
children.
children. Yeah.
Exactly, and then they will also have issues.
Applicants from your country. They can just ban them from bringing, just like what is happening in UK now. So please, let's not
Yeah.
even do such. Let's
Yeah.
not try.
Do-
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have any child and you want to adopt a child, provide documents that this is my adopted child. You are good to go. No
That
need
is
to lie
all.
about anything. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much. Felicity, loving the discussion. Thank you so much. So, guys, because for the sake of time, I'll just run through the questions that we have to ask. Okay, questions that have already been asked and not other things as well. I really acknowledge. I really appreciate all those things that you guys are really posting. I really but we have to move right now. Olufo says thank you, Nes Momo and co-representatives. Um, presenters. My question is, how long does it take for one person to reunite? Okay, please, we've already talked about this. I advise that you watch the video when we are done, so you have every information that you really need. Dara says, sorry, I came in late. I came in late. Can I travel at the same time? No, there I cannot travel the same time as your family. Please, we've discussed all of this. Our advice that since you came in late, when we are done with the live discussion, please remember to rewatch this video as well. You have all the information that you really need to have. Joyce says that getting confused. What if you can prove that your sister, who above 18 years, is the only person who can take care of your children? Can she come to Ireland? Okay, Joyce. For us, we are not immigration representatives. Okay, we are
Exactly.
only advising you
Exactly.
based on experience. However, if you really want to go ahead and apply for your sister, if you have the document to prove that she's the only one who can take care of your children, why not? You are not lying in this case. Just go ahead, provide all the documents you have to provide, and then it is left with the embassy to now decide. The decision lies with them if they will still go ahead or not. Please, Inkiru, this name I always try to. That's gonna help me. Inkiru, please, I can use my. Please, can I use my permanent utility bill in Nigeria, even though my kids are in another state schooling for visa application? No, you don't have to. Okay, so the utility bill, we are talking about utility bill in Ireland, not in Nigeria. Okay, so your father don't really have to provide utility bill in Nigeria. It has to be you providing utility bill in Ireland. Okay. Um, tenancy letter was handwritten by landlord. Okay, you just have to provide it so far as it's authentic. You don't have any problem. I mean, to be typed or okay, she wants to find out is should the tenancy agreement be typed or handwritten? Does it really matter?
It doesn't matter, but I prefer you type. But even if it's not type, as long as the information is there, if they want to reach out to him or her, they can equally authenticate that by writing to whoever that is concerned. Okay, but mine, I typed mine.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Um, Nkiru says, what documents do I need for the school in Nigeria for visa application? Okay, Nurse Goodness actually said that you just need a letter from the school stating that they are your kid from this school and all that, just to prove that they are actually schooling in Nigeria. Okay, that's it. And then someone says, with the children allowance, we will still manage it for them. Face blowing. Okay, please keep on managing. Yeah, there I said, how long will I stay before they join me? Please, sorry for. Okay, please, there we've already talked about all that. Kindly go back as well. So sorry, but please, we have to go very soon. Siri says, thank you for the time. This is very informative. Thank you. Please, what about a lady bringing in her son following the death of her spouse? Hope there won't be an issue. To my best of knowledge, no, there won't be an issue. You just have to
Yeah, just
provide
provide the
the
death
death.
certificate and
Yes, just provide the
everything.
death certificate. Even posters, you want to provide posters that shows that your spouse was actually dead and all that. Pictures of maybe the funeral and all that. You can anything at all that you think that you want to add up. Please just add it up, okay? Please, if you haven't liked this video, please remember to like this video. It's very, very important. And then Peter says, thank you so much. Please, my sister-in-law is 17. I have a legal document that shows that I have been her guardian for over 3 years now. And she come along too. Okay, 17 years. You know something, I'll say for the sake of time, and I know that I already gave my I gave Gideon and Brad there's goodness time when we are far ahead of that. So you know something, just provide it. If you have the legal document as you said, this is legal, so please provide it. If they have any other query, I'm sure the embassy is going to get back to you, and then you can sort it out at that stage. Um, this someone say, please, are they supposed to send the sponsor original passports on submission at the VFS office? Okay, I know it's the if you are the sponsor, you
No,
just have to send the scanned documents to your husband to just apply.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I
Oh,
didn't
that's
get that.
goodness.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't get that.
she wants to find out for the sponsor's original passport. Does it have to be like the original one or a scanned one to your spouse back home?
Okay, no, I sent the photocopied one for mine, like myself. That's the
Yeah.
sponsor, right? No, I didn't send the original. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, you
Yeah,
are here in Ireland. You can't send your
even my
original
GNIB, I didn't.
documents. Yeah, you can't send it to the embassy. No, but they on the other hand have to submit their original documents.
Yeah.
And remember, please, in the event that you are submitting your original documents, know that for the duration of, I mean, for the next 6 months, I'm using 6 months because that has been like the baseline now. For the next 6 months, those original documents are going to be kept by the embassy. So if you have any other thing doing with those original documents, make sure you do them far in advance, okay? Yeah, or you wait after the 6 month period until you use those original documents. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
let me quickly
Yeah.
add something there. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I also know about 2 or 3 persons that submitted, and it took embassy about 8 months or 9 months for them to work on their visa. But along the line, because they wanted to travel to another country and they needed that international passport to travel, so what they did was they wrote to the embassy and told them their intention of going on vacation to another country,
Okay.
and the embassy couriered it to them and told them that whenever
They are
they
ready.
want to attend to it, they will ask them to send it back. I think there's provision for such. I know 2 people that have done that.
That is a very
Um,
relevant
yeah,
information. That's
ask you a quick question. Did that delay their process further?
I wouldn't know because I know that the process already is taking longer. It was taking longer time
yeah.
for them
Yeah.
Exactly.
to So I wouldn't know if that was the reason why they had to stay 9 months before they could get their visa. You get.
Okay, oh, that's a very good information because when I quite remember when I was submitting my UK, when I was submitting my biometric, actually, I had a guy that came over there, and then he also went through the submission, the biometric, but he didn't submit his visa, sorry, his passport. Okay, so he told them I'll bring back my passport later because I have to go somewhere. So he did the biometrics and everything, took the passport away, and then later he just sent it to them, and then they gave him the visa as well. So
Yeah.
that kind of that's very much true. So I'm sure that the same thing can also happen to Ireland as well. You just have to send them an email and just find out all those informations, and I'm sure they'll get back to you. Thank you so much. That's goodness. We have one person asking. I think we have like 4 questions to go in there. Then please, if your husband is living in another country like Spain and the children in Nigeria, how do you bring them? Okay. So husband is in Spain and then children in Nigeria. How do you apply for them?
Gideon, do you want to answer?
Oh, okay. So as husband is in Spain, Spain is a member of the EU. Yeah. So depending on the status, the visa status of the husband, I don't know if the husband is an EU citizen, it means that the husband definitely qualifies to even come and then work in Ireland without needing a visa. Yeah. Exactly. So for the kids, you have to go through the normal route, just as we've mentioned. Yeah. On the other hand, if the husband is, let me say, an illegal immigrant in Spain, then the husband would have to now go back to Nigeria and then reprocess before the husband can also move into Ireland. There is no way the husband can move from Spain if he's an illegal immigrant before coming directly to Ireland. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, so he has to go back to Nigeria and then rework and then come back. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Augustina says, what if both are nurses? So yes, Augustina, if your spouse is a nurse, I'll just advise that you also apply for decision letter and all that, and later maybe they can come in with their decision letter and then maybe apply for a job and all that, or anything you want to say. I always like it that way. Or they can still apply for the family visa, and when they come in, they can still apply for the decision letter.
If the spouse has not gotten the English requirement, he or she can come over through a spouse visa and then write the exams. But if the person has, whichever route you want to come in through, it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, spouse visa or employment visa.
Yeah. So it actually depends on you.
I think that usually it's best for me. If you ask me, I think it's best that the spouse comes in and then is given a stamp 1G. What happens with the stamp 1G is that if you are given a stamp 1G, you have the right to work anywhere you want. Yeah, without necessarily needing a working permit. Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. That is the only advantage. Okay. Yeah. So the wife can come in, be on stamp 1G, work anywhere that he or she wants to work. But it also has got some few limitations, Yeah. Else, why not write the IELTS, come in, also registered so that it makes life easier for the both of you. Yeah. I hope it's not my wife Augustina who typed that anyway.
That's not your wife.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. But sorry to ask. What having a stamp 1G doesn't mean that they can practice nursing, that. So they would definitely.
Yeah. Exactly. So no, you can't practice nursing. You it means that you can work anywhere. I mean, as a carer with any other job. Yeah, but you can't practice as a nurse. The only time you can practice as a nurse is to also go through the process of registering with the NMBI. That also takes time on its own. Yeah. So that is it.
Because I have a friend also on my Telegram page. Actually, he's a nurse in Ireland now, and then the wife is actually having decision letter, looking for an employer to also come in as a nurse. With on critical skill permit as well. So either way that it suits you, you can just go ahead, guys.
Yeah. And with this red list stuff, now it's becoming difficult to find a job. Okay. Yeah. So if your husband is already here and then can pick you up and then you are still waiting for employment, meanwhile, he could have just picked you. Yeah, that is also another thing to contend with. So
yeah. Thank you. Henry says, please, what if what is the position of the delay dependent visa? The family unification process for Nigerians takes a long time, even for critical skill visa holder. Okay, so as we just said, we've already spoken about all of that. If you have anything you want to say, anything you just want to know, please remember to just go back and let's check this video when you're done. Okay, very, very important. Winifred says, please, how do spouses manage sorry, I'm actually having some distraction. How do spouses actually manage their shifts and children if there is no help? Gideon, just want to, then we are done with this one.
That is one hell of a problem. I'm currently going through that, so it's not easy. It's not easy without family to support you here. It's not easy. It means that at every point in time, one of the parents has to be at home. You cannot leave the kids alone at home. Okay, so at every point in time, one parent has to be at home. That is the difficult part. The government. I mean, you knew that you were the two of you. You decided to go and bring your husband or your wife, and then your kids. Once they are here, they are your responsibility. Okay, if the government feels that you are not taking care of your children as you should, that is also another problem for you. So I will say that whatever it takes for you to take care of your kid. Okay, if one person has to stop working for the other person to continue to work and then make the family survive, that should be it. Or better still, this person can work for 3 days, the other person can work on 3 days, so that you rotate the duties you have for these kids, because under no circumstance should you leave children alone. Else you are signing your own, I wouldn't say death warrant, but your own exit route. Once you are caught, then it makes your immigration status quite questionable. So that's it.
Okay, very, very important. Last question. Yeah, says, what about applying for a visit for your family? Okay, we've already discussed that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Again, how do you go about it, and how does it take? Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for all your questions. Like, we've discussed all of this. Please, we are about to end this session. I'll just advise that you go back when you are done and just watch the whole video, and I'm sure you're going to have almost all I'll just say all your questions answered, if I'm in the right position to say that. Okay, so
just one more. Let me just say one thing. Yeah, just in addition to what Gideon
and
said.
the final comment from you, final advice when you say that, so you add that one too.
Oh yeah, just in addition to spouse working with the spouse, the sponsor, whatever. I mean, the both of them working. I would advise one of them to pick a flexible shift, kind of like working with agency, so that whenever you are off, your spouse can pick a shift. But getting a regular job, both of you doing the two regular job might be difficult, because both of you might be on the same shift and it will be difficult to find a minder. And when you keep getting a minder, it simply means that you guys are not giving attention to the child. Tussler might come in, okay? The children can report to you, and that's going to be a big issue. So I will advise one of the partner to have a flexible shift, like working with agency, so that he or she can always pick shifts whenever he or she is free.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Then final word from me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Final comments, yes.
Thank you, Nurse Momo. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you, viewers.
It's a pleasure. It's a huge pleasure, actually.
Yeah, nothing much to say.
Okay. Gideon, I can see you are busy. Anything you want to say, Gideon?
Thank you for the opportunity of speaking with your viewers and then everybody. I should say families are so important. I mean, they are a major part of our lives. We wish that they are here anytime to support us. Sometimes the process could be so frustrating. Just imagine waiting for 9 months, and as goodness will tell you, those 9 months are terrible. Going to work, coming home, nobody to talk to. You are always, I mean, how often can you watch television? Okay, most especially in this cold weather. Okay, especially if it's winter. Just imagine you being alone in this winter. I mean, we wish that we can bring our families as soon as possible, but circumstances here in Ireland may not permit, most especially accommodation. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, the visa has all even been approved, but you are looking for a place and you are not finding a place, and that could also be so terrible. So, in as much as we have good plans to bring our families, we should. I entreat that our viewers and especially the families that we've left behind should also take note that sometimes it's not easy. Our intentions are very good, but it will definitely take time for us to bring them here. On that note, I wish everybody well. Thank you so much, Nes Momo, for having me on board. Thank you, Nes Goodness, for co um how do we mention that? Yeah,
Presenting.
co presenting with
Yeah.
me. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good
Thank
night,
you so
everyone.
much, that's goodness. Thank you so much, Bragido. And thank you so much to my viewers because you guys have been so faithful and so encouraging, always coming through, always supporting whatever I'm doing. I'm really, really grateful. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Also, remember to share this YouTube a live session with your friends as well, on all your social media platforms as well. Also, remember to like this video because it's very, very, very much important. I'm actually going to leave the link to my Telegram page on the description button as well. Remember to join. If you want to join the Ghanaian nurses in Ireland, please, we have a page for that. We equally have African nurses in Ireland and also a page for all African nurses that wish to come into Ireland, owned by Nurse Goodness as well. So just get to my Telegram page. Then you just have to link up with any of the admins on the Telegram page. That is a general page. And then you'll be added to the page for the Ghanaians who have already passed their IELTS, and also the African nurses page for all Africans as well. If you are also in Ireland, link up. I'm going to add you to the African nurses page as well, or a Ghanaian page for all Ghanaians living in Ireland as well. So we are very much organized. Okay. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all soon on my next video. To say if you are on TikTok, I just joined TikTok. Remember to follow me on TikTok. Or you can also start some live videos also on TikTok. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye. See you all soon on our next video.